Right, good morning everyone. I guess I don't really know if it's considered morning still. Right now it's about 11 a.m. which honestly is still quite a few hours earlier than I wake up on a weekend, but I had some things I needed to do today, so I thought that I would just bring you guys around with me. So next week I'm going back to the US and my family asked me to bring back some souvenirs for them. I was gonna go souvenir shopping and I was gonna show you guys some of my favorite souvenirs or snacks to get from the Tokyo area. In case you guys were coming here and you guys wanted to bring some good tasting snacks back home with you. Yeah, so first I think I'm gonna head off to Tokyo Station because they have a lot of really good souvenir stands, so yeah, let's head there and then I guess I'll also pick up lunch along the way. Alright, so I just got lunch and it took me quite a while to find a place to eat because even though around the Tokyo Station area there are honestly a lot of rooftop park and garden areas, it is unfortunately raining right now, so a lot of the indoor seating is taken up and I can't go outside because I don't want to eat in the rain, so it took me a while to walk around and find a place, but the upstairs of Tokyo Station there is kind of like a terracey part. There are seats, there are tables, so I came here instead and there honestly are not too many people here right now, so that is very good. So I ended up getting a Okinawan style onigiri. This is a relatively new shop. It's also in a newly constructed building by Tokyo Station and there seems to be a good amount of people there, so I'm hoping that this is good. I don't really know much about this place. I don't know if it's chain or anything, but yeah. So the one I got is a miso, spam, egg, and fried tofu onigiri. It is pretty well jam-packed, but let's see how it tastes. This is actually quite good. The egg is pretty nice and fluffy, and I know that they make their own spam using local pork, and this honestly tastes pretty similar to regular canned spam, or like the name brand spam, except I think this one is a little bit less salty and also a bit softer. It is also definitely a lot less pink than the brand name ones, but this is still actually really good. And then you have a nice piece of that fluffy, crunchy fried tofu in the middle, and then there's also some of the miso sauce on top. It's honestly not too salty either. I feel like it all works very well together. But this is actually kind of hard to eat because there's a lot of stuff jammed in here and it's kind of falling apart as I hold it right now. Yeah, hopefully I can finish this without making too much of a mess. Yeah, actually, I don't know what they did to it or how they made it, but this miso sauce is actually really good. It's salty, it's slightly sweet, it's honestly really savory as well. It's really tasty. So I think this one costed about like 650 yen, and it seems kind of pricey to me, especially because you can get convenience store onigiri for like around $1. Yeah, but this is actually a pretty hefty onigiri and there's a lot going on, so I feel like this might be worth it. There are also smaller ones for cheaper as well, so if you want to try those are also good options. So yeah, I think if you're in the area and you're looking for something quick to snack on, I would definitely recommend this, but if you are maybe just like coming to Tokyo Station for like a couple hours and you're looking for something that's really special, really good around the area, then you might be able to skip this because I don't really know if I would consider this to be a really strong local delicacy or anything, but this is still pretty good. And then other than that, as I was walking around Tokyo Station, I saw this vending machine. They had a strawberry flavored drink thing and it says that it has 20% strawberry juice in here. I've actually tried this already before and I quite like it. This is a special limited item because right now it is, I guess, towards the end of strawberry season, so I don't know if they're making this because they have a lot of excess produce and they're trying to get rid of it, but I think this is pretty good. So yeah, this honestly does have a pretty strong strawberry flavor to it. It doesn't really taste like it's too concentrated or anything though. It's still nice and sweet, slightly tart. I feel like it would be if you blended up a lot of really sweet strawberries, put some lemon juice in there, and then kind of strained it out and then added a little bit of water. This is what you would get. I don't really know what else is in here besides strawberry juice, but I am assuming that it is strawberry juice and water. But still, this is pretty good. I think it was 200 yen and it's located in some random vending machine kind of down the hallway Tokyo Station. I think I had only seen one of them, so I don't know if there are other ones around. And yeah, other than that, as I was walking here, I also stopped to get some dessert as well. So I went to this place that has cheese tarts, and I guess it's honestly not really too special because they do have this back in the Bay Area where I'm from, so I've had this before. But I think that the ones here in Japan, they have a lot more flavors, especially right now. I think the seasonal one is raspberry, and I really like raspberry or berry flavored things, so I ended up getting that. Here's a nice little tart. So unfortunately, this one is not warm anymore, but sometimes after getting this, you can put it in the oven and you can warm it up, and then once you open it and crack it open, then the inside gets really nice and gooey. Or another thing you can do is you can put it in the fridge or the freezer, I forget which one, but then if you, after that, it gets like a kind of frozen juicy kind of texture, which honestly, I don't know if that is how they recommend eating it, but it works either way. Yeah, let's try the raspberry one here. So the outside is red. I don't know if it's because it's raspberry flavor or because just coloring. I think it is mainly the center part that is raspberry flavored. So the outside crust is really buttery, really crisp. I don't actually think the outside crust is raspberry flavor. I think it's just colored, but the inside you can definitely taste the raspberry flavor there. It's a really nice, soft, light, whipped cream cheese kind of texture to it. And I feel like the inside also is not too sweet either. It is a little bit tart. It's not too much at all. I don't think you would really notice it that much. And overall, it is actually really good. I forgot how good these cheese tarts are. I'm definitely glad that I tried the raspberry flavor here. It's really good. If you're looking for something light, something slightly sweet, and you're passing by one of these stores, I would highly recommend getting one. And they usually come out with a lot of different flavors, and a lot of them change depending on the season. So if there is a particular flavor that you're interested in, you might want to check that out before you go. But I think regardless, any of the ones that you get, they'll still be really tasty. Alright, yeah, so I just finished my dessert, and I think it is finally time for me to go get some souvenirs, snacks. Hopefully I don't see anything that I want to eat along the way, because then I'll probably stop and get it. But yeah, let's see what I can find. So I actually ended up getting way more stuff than I expected. A lot of the stuff that I actually bought just now, I haven't ever tried before. They looked really good, and I know that they're really popular with locals here. I just haven't tried them, so I ended up getting them. So yeah, right now I'm just taking a break. I ended up getting a Zunda shake, which is a edamame milkshake. So I've actually had this before. It honestly tastes like a vanilla milkshake, but a lot thicker, and there are also some small chunks of edamame in here as well. I feel like there isn't really too strong of an edamame flavor in here. I feel like if you really think about it, you could really taste it, but honestly, it tastes like a really good, thick, slightly buttery, slightly vanilla-y milkshake. I think this costed like maybe $3, so 360 yen. I don't really know what the conversion rate is right now, but it's honestly a pretty fair price for the size milkshake. So like I mentioned before, they do blend up edamame into this milkshake, so you are going to get some little slight bits and pieces of it every now and then, but I think it adds a really nice textural contrast to the whole shake. And yeah, if you want to try this, this is located at a stand in the Daimaru department store. It's going to be on the ground floor right above the basement aisle section where all of the other snacks and souvenirs are. And I guess one other tip for souvenirs here, there are going to be a lot of souvenir shops in Tokyo Station on the ground floor, but there are also actually going to be a ton more souvenir shops within the JR gates of Tokyo Station. I feel like I actually like the souvenir stores within the JR gates more than the souvenir stores are outside of it. So if you were able to come here on the JR line, I would definitely recommend taking the time to explore around those shops and get souvenirs there, because those are going to be a bit more exclusive than the ones outside of the gates. And I guess if you're already paying for a train ticket to the JR line, you might as well take advantage of being within the gates to buy souvenirs there as well. Alright, yeah, so right now I have left Tokyo Station and currently I'm in Yuracho because one of my friends asked me to get some more matcha from my favorite matcha parfait place here in Ginza. So that is what I'm heading to do. I also haven't exactly decided yet if I'm going to get a parfait because honestly it's quite pricey. It's like $20 and I'm pretty full because I had a lot of free samples at Tokyo Station, so I think I'll decide once I get there. So I have just acquired the matcha from my friend, and unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be getting a parfait today because the line for that to eat in the store looked pretty long, so I ended up just getting a little to-go cup with jellies in it, and I think I'm going to eat that. And this place is also pretty well known to have a very aesthetic, attractive looking bookstore here at the very top of it, the Tsujiri bookstore. A lot of influencers go there and take pictures, so I think if you want to check that out, that's also here as well. So right now I have left the Ginza area and I'm actually heading back to Tokyo Station because I didn't realize that one of the stores that I wanted to get souvenirs at actually had a store right there. I didn't even remember to check until after I got the matcha, so yeah, currently heading there because I think that's the only store in Tokyo, I believe. And if I don't find the souvenir somewhere else, then I have to order off Amazon, and that costs a little bit more money, so I'm just gonna head back over there. I think that they do sell the souvenirs because I wasn't too sure if it was like a sit-down parfait dessert kind of shop or if they actually sold items to take home, so I guess we shall see. So right now it is 8:30 and I think I am officially done. I've gotten a lot of stuff already. I spent a lot of money today, unfortunately, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go home now. I finally made it back. I feel like it's been a pretty long time. I spent like maybe 8 hours outside trying to shop and get souvenirs. Right now it is 9 p.m. I left here at, I think it was like 12, so it's been quite a while and I'm pretty tired. Halfway through while shopping, I took a break and I sat down on the bench and I fell asleep there. I did not intend to do that, but yeah, I think my day is actually not still over yet because I usually go grocery shopping on Saturdays and I am definitely currently out of groceries and I don't really want to go tomorrow, so I think I will have to grocery shop now. Yeah, I guess that is that, so let's go. I will show you guys what I got from the souvenirs and I guess also groceries if you're interested. Yeah, let's head out. Alright, I am officially back. I am done grocery shopping. It took like an hour, which is quite a while, but I am done going outside for the day. And I guess if you guys were interested, I can show you all the souvenirs that I got that I'm gonna bring back for my friends and family. Yeah, so first up, we have these, I think it is from Sugar Butter Tree. I think that's the name of the store. What this basically is it's a cookie sandwich. And the cookies here, they're like a really light crispy, puffed up cracker kind of almost. It's coated with sugar on the outside, and then there's a sweet icing filling on the middle. And these are actually pretty good. I think they are slightly more on the sweet side, but they have really nice texture to them, and they're also relatively cheap as well. And if you're a big Moomin fan, then they're doing a collab right now, so you can get this character or you can get this character. I think this character, her flavor was some kind of apple ginger one, which I was not a fan of, so I got the regular sugar. These ones I've actually tried before, and they're actually really good. I actually still have a couple of them lying around here from when I went to Kyoto last time to get them. So yeah, I got 2 packs of them. This one here, I think it's just a regular flavored cookie on the outside, and then the middle is matcha cream. And I think this one, it is matcha flavored cookie on the outside, and the middle is a white chocolate cream. I haven't tried this one before, so I can't really vouch for this, but this is actually really good. These ones are going to be on the slightly less sweet end. You have a really nice crisp outside. The matcha cream in the middle is really good. It has a really strong matcha flavor to it, and it's also not too bitter either. It has a very light whipped texture on the middle, and it just contrasts really well with the really crispy, crunchy cookie on the outside. I highly recommend getting these if you are ever by a Tsujiri store. There's one at Tokyo Station on the 10th floor of the Daimaru, and then you can also find Tsujiri stores in Kyoto as well, which is where I got them last time. And then I got this for one of my friends. This is the Tokyo Milk Cheese Factory cookies. So what they do is basically they have a lot of sandwich cream cookie kind of things, and the cream is usually some cheese flavored cream that's been sweetened. So this one's kind of like the combo pack. There are 10 of them. There are going to be 5. I don't remember. I think it's salt and camembert. And then there is also chocolate and mascarpone, I think. But yeah, so he asked for this. I think they do actually sell this back in the US, but it's usually a lot more expensive, so I'm getting the cheaper version to bring back. And then next up, this is from Pista and Tokyo. So this is a pistachio specialty store. I have always been intrigued by it because it looks really good whenever I pass by it, and I also really like pistachio flavored things. Interestingly enough, when I passed by this stand at Tokyo Station, they were doing a free sample tasting session or something. So they were giving out free samples of the pistachio crackers. And while I did actually really like the flavor of the pistachio in it, I thought that it was quite sweet. I don't really know if my mom's gonna like this because she's one of those Asian parents who likes things to be less sweet. But if she doesn't want it, then I guess I'll eat it. So I ended up getting the combo pack. Usually from this store, there are 2 different flavors. There's a pistachio, and then there's also a raspberry pistachio. So this one is half pistachio and half pistachio raspberry. Yeah, so I'm excited to eat this if they do not like it. And then next up, this is one of the items that I also have not tried before. This, I honestly don't know what it is, but when I was looking up souvenirs to bring back, this was usually one of the recommended items. So I will try this, I guess, when I give it to them because I also want to see what it tastes like. I think this is basically another sandwich cracker cookie thing with cream in the middle. There's one that's chocolate and there's one that is white chocolate. And then there is this. This is also another item that I have not tried before. One of my cousins actually really liked them, and she was asking one of her friends to bring it back for them when they came to Tokyo. So I decided to get some for myself to bring back and try. I think what this is, it's like a really crisp wafer, and then on the middle, it's like a really light thin layer of whipped flavored cream. I think there are 5 of them in here. I forget what flavor they are, but this was actually relatively cheap too. So I'm excited to try these. And then for one of my other friends, she asked for apple juice because she really liked the apple juice here in Japan when she came to visit. So I got her these 2. I'm pretty sure these are not the ones that she asked for, but I think that these are gonna taste better than what she had. But this one looked pretty good. This is 100% Aomori apple juice. And then this one, it is from a apple juice vending machine. So at that vending machine, they only sell apple juice. There are, I believe, like 4 different flavors of apple juices, and this is listed as the best in the world apple juice. So I haven't even tried this before, but I hope she likes it. It says limited edition, so hopefully it is really good. And, oh, yeah, so this is the matcha powder that I got from the matcha parfait store in Ginza. So when my friend came to visit, I brought all of them to the expensive matcha parfait store, and then she really liked the matcha powder that she got there, so she asked me to get some more for her. This is not the exact same one that she had got, but I asked if she wanted to try different tiers of it, because I think the one that she got was the 2nd highest grade, and this one is the 2nd lowest grade. So I guess now she can compare and see which one she likes better, because I think the price difference is also quite
drastic as well. This one is half the price of the one that she got. And then this is more for me, just because I wasn't able to get a parfait because there's so many people in line. I ended up getting one of these matcha jelly cups. I've actually had this before, and I've tried the hojicha one as well, but unfortunately the hojicha one was sold out today, so I'm just going to be eating this one. And then the most exciting purchase that I made was this. So this is from Audrey, and this is really good. So what this is that it is basically a really thin, crisp, slightly sweet cookie wrapped around a nice light whipped cream, and there's also a slice of dehydrated strawberry put on top. And yeah, I'm actually surprised that this was still there because usually when I go, it's always sold out. I guess maybe I came a little earlier than I usually do because I would think I went there at 3 p.m. today. Maybe I usually stop by there after 5, but they still had a lot of product. There are 2 flavors in this one. I also got the combo. So the first one is the original vanilla, and then there's also a chocolate flavored one as well. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think I was considering actually getting some for myself as well, but I feel like I still have a lot of snacks and desserts I need to eat, so I held back. And maybe if my family doesn't like this, then I will just eat it all for myself as well. Oh, actually, I have other ones. So I also got this. I didn't get this today. I got this actually quite some time ago, but it doesn't expire for quite a long time. This is New York Perfect Cheese. I actually did not know very much about this. I just know that it was always sold out, no matter what time of the day that I went by the store. But eventually I wanted to try it because I was really curious why people were so interested in this. So I ended up going on a weekday right when they opened, and I ended up waiting like an hour and a half in line just to get some of these. So yeah, this definitely has a very big following here in Japan. And while I was waiting in line, I looked this up, and apparently the creation of this is like a collaboration between some famous French cheese expert and a Japan-based baker, as well as the former White House chef. So they definitely have a lot of credentials going into this sweets here. So I got a couple of these boxes and I already tried some of them. I'm actually quite surprised by how much I liked it. I really do not like cheese or cheese flavored things. And this actually has pieces of, I think, 3 different kinds of cheese in it. So what this basically is, it's like a thin, crisp cookie, and there is some whipped chocolate cream there. And then there are also bits of gorgonzola, I think camembert, and some other cheese mixed throughout it. And then it's also topped off with 2 pieces of white chocolate. I was actually kind of scared because I was worried that I waited in line for nothing because I really do not like cheese. And I was pretty sure that I was not going to like this, but I ended up getting some anyways just to try to see if I could prove myself wrong. And I was still worried when I opened the package because it smelled pretty strongly of cheese, and that was just a big turnoff for me. But I ended up trying it and it was actually surprisingly good. The cheese flavor is definitely still there, but it's really not that strong. I don't really know what they did to it, but it smells a lot more cheesy than it actually tastes, and it's actually quite sweet. The texture is really good. So I think this is actually a really good souvenir if you're into cheese desserts. And I guess other than that, I also ended up getting this. I didn't actually end up buying more of it. I know this has a huge following as well. Every time I pass by the store, there's always a big line of people waiting there. It takes like an hour just to get this. And this is basically a sandwich cookie. The cookie on top is really crisp, really buttery. I think it's slightly thick. The middle is really nice, runny, buttery caramel. And it's also wrapped in chocolate on the center part so that the caramel doesn't ooze out until you bite into it. But yeah, other than that, I went grocery shopping. I got a lot of strawberries because they're currently on sale because it is right now heading towards the end of strawberry season, so I'm guessing everything's on sale because they're trying to get rid of their product, which I think is a really good tip. So if you do not particularly care about having the absolute best fruit, you do not have to really come during the peak season for it here. If you want to try Japanese fruits for a more reasonable price, you should definitely come more towards the end of the season. It's still going to taste pretty good, but the price is going to be way cheaper. And also at a lot of grocery stores, and I think especially the higher end ones, they will discount their fruits more heavily towards the end of the day because they're trying to get rid of the product and not have to recycle and reuse it the next day because I guess they are concerned that it might be bad. So I think that's a really good tip if you want to try fruit here in Japan. So yeah, I got some strawberries, I got some brown rice. I don't actually like eating rice because I don't like the flavor of it, but brown rice I'm okay with. So I got brown rice, and then I got some grapes, and then I got some vegetables. I think for some reason there were not too many options for vegetables today, and they were also a lot more expensive than what I'm usually used to at that store. So I didn't get very much. But yeah, that's basically my grocery haul and also my souvenir haul.